Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we are looking at the Disco Queen X-Woman Dazzler's Omnibus, and whoo, I'm really excited about this because I think the reason I'm excited about this because Marvel, they don't just release the, and I'm not saying that this isn't popular, they don't just release the popular ones, the ones that they know are going to sell. You know, you do a Wolverine omnibus, you know that's going to sell well. You do an X-Men omnibus, generally you know that's going to sell. So doing an omnibus with Dazzler off her solo run is not a bold move. It makes me happy because that means that Marvel are not just releasing omnibuses. They're trying to give us. They're trying to go to the whole fan base now. Only found out about Dazzler's solo run a couple of years ago, so it's only recently sort of become on Marvel Unlimited, which is where I read most of my material that I haven't got in book form. And it was one drunken Christmas, probably 2 years ago, where I stumbled across the Masterworks, which were probably what most people were picking up the Dazzler books from. And I crazily brought a couple, started reading them, fell in love instantly, although I haven't finished them. So that's because this got announced, and I thought, oh, I might as well just wait for this and then read it as a whole. So there's the front cover. I've gone for the standard cover. I got this from Speedy Hen in the UK. There on the side, let me just zoom out a little bit so you can see it's a nice, usual Marvel Omnibus Dazzler there. And then there is a lot of contributors on. There's a book, and then a nice shot of Dazzler there. And what does this collect? So I love the fact that it's got pretty much, I'm not sure it's got all the covers, but it's got 90% of the covers at the very least. So this collects Dazzler 1 to 42, the X-Men 130, 131, and that's her introduction. Then she actually, I believe, followed that up in Amazing Spider-Man 203. And then we've got Marvel graphic novel 12, Beauty and the Beast 1 to 4, which was a bit of a nice surprise. Now, that's another book that's been on my list to read for a long time, so I'd be interested to see how Dazzler plays into that because I've never read it. So I'm quite excited. It's nice to see that in there. And then you got Secret Wars 2, 14, and material from What If 33 and Fanfare 38. Now, if I've got my, in fact, no, I won't say that just yet. I'll say that in a minute. So I'm just going to take the dust cover off, like so. Oh, right. Firstly, we got all the creators. So we got Tom Defalco, Danny Fingeroff, Jim Shooter, Archie Goodwin, and Nocenti, John Romita Jr., Frank Springer, Paul Chadwick, and Don Perlin. We've probably heard most of those over the years. And then on this side, we have got Synthesis. Apologies, I quickly paused my video, so I hope it's not affected it too much. I did it because I thought that I'd pressed the slow-mo button where it starts recording things slowly, and then it just wouldn't record. So we got a nice picture of Dazzler there, and then on this side. So pretty much the same all the way through, which is interesting because it doesn't usually happen that way. And then on here, that looks absolutely stunning. Dazzler Omnibus. I really, really do like that. Right, so here comes the interesting bit. This is where I try to adjust my camera and not affect the viewing. Just gonna take that out a little bit. And then I just gotta try and pry my hands under there. Right, so let's try and see how this goes. It's always interesting. And this is a big book, a really big book. So we got the sort of opening there. Apologies, I will try not to knock anything. And then all the contributors there. And then, let's gently pry that back. Come on. Gently. Don't want to damage the book. There we go. There we go. Right. I will try not to knock that stand anymore. It's going to be difficult. So we've got an introduction from Danny Fingeroff, which I think is quite nice. And this story begins, so the introduction is around 1980, and then Dazzler #1 picks up in 1981, almost a year later. So it's always interesting to find out how these things come about, how they decided what should be picked up. And then that runs all the way to 1986. And then obviously you've got some extras from 82 and 88. So 86, I think, if I'm correct in terms of my chronological memory of the X-Men, is around the time that Mutant Massacre happened. And then obviously the new sort of Uncanny X-Men slowly emerge, and Dazzler becomes one of them. So you got the introduction, which was in the Dark Phoenix saga. So if you've been watching X-Men for a long time, you know sort of how that introduction goes. And Dazzler slowly becomes a cosmic presence in the universe, and in some cases goes up against the likes of Galactus. The Enchantress is one. And I probably only got through maybe a couple of those masterworks before I tailed off. So like I said, I'm very, very excited to read the rest because I have no idea what's going to happen in this. In fact, I had to, I try not to watch other people's reviews until I've done mine so I can have my own opinion and my own thoughts on things. But I couldn't resist watching near mint conditions video of it, and I had to stop because I knew that he was heading in the direction of the second half, which probably involves Dazzler's family a little bit more. And I reading latter issues later on, many moons later, 30, 40 years later. Wow, it really is about 40 years. I really wanted to see how things pan out with her sister because I have no idea. And I'm trying not to look at this now as well as I just flick through the pages. So it's classic 80s sort of storyboard telling with that sort of art there. I love the fact that you've got Rogue when she was with the evil mutants as well. That's pretty cool and interesting. It's got the letter pages in here, which I know some people really do like, as well as the covers here. And I'm really sorry because I'm knocking the thing. Let me try and be a bit more careful. So I suspect the art changes in here multiple times anyway. And then we got that Beast story as well, which I am very, very excited to read. Like I said, that's been on my list for a very long time. And I meant to buy the graphic novel it was probably about 10 years ago. And I don't know why I didn't buy it. And then I think I saved it on Marvel Unlimited because that was on Marvel Unlimited. And well, then I just never got around to reading it because, let's be honest, when you got Marvel Unlimited, there is multiple things to jump from. And sometimes I do jump around. So at the back, oh, wait a minute. What if, sorry, that was that Galactus. I'm looking forward to that one. That looks cool. That looks very cool. And I managed not to spoil it for myself. When I'm flicking through this, it's hard to spoil it from yourself. In all fairness, I may just start reading this in a minute. I'm that pumped for this omnibus. And at the back, you got extras, handbook, covers, which is always good to have. Let me just carefully. Hey, Dazzler the movie. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I dig that. Dazzler could easily have her own movie. When we put apart Marvel Cinema Universe, once they really get stuck into mutant kind, to do something like that. So there we go. Let me just carefully just knock that past there. Just gently bring that up there. So yeah. So once again, another beautiful book from Marvel, making me very, very happy indeed. I'm really grateful that this has come out, and it was one of the books that I've been really excited for this year. So excited that what's the word? I could have waited a few weeks until I get paid, but I managed to sell a couple of things just to make sure that I had it in hand as soon as it came out. That's how excited I am for this omnibus. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you're getting it. Let me know if this is a pass for you. I know some people are very specific in their collections. I remember a time when I would have just collected X-Men omnibuses and I steered clear of Wolverine, for example, because it just felt like I didn't need to do that. And then now I'm definitely collecting Wolverine omnibuses. So, you know, hey ho. Thank you for watching. Thank you to those that have subscribed to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.